How do neurons and glial cells protect the brain from stroke? Imagine your brain as a busy city with roads, buildings, and emergency responders all working together to keep everything running smoothly. When a stroke occurs, it's like a sudden disaster that threatens to cause chaos. But your brain has its own team of protectors, neurons and glial cells, that work tirelessly to limit damage and promote recovery. Let's explore how these cells collaborate to defend your brain during such critical moments. Glial cells, which include astrocytes, microglia, and oligodendrocytes, are like the city's emergency responders. When neurons or other glial cells detect signs of injury, such as damage signals released during a stroke, they spring into action. Astrocytes, a type of glial cell, respond by releasing molecules called cytokines and chemokines. These signals recruit immune cells to the site of injury, which can help clear out damaged tissue. At the same time, astrocytes produce neurotrophic factors that support the survival and repair of neurons, acting like repair crews fixing broken roads. They also help maintain the blood-brain barrier, which is like a protective wall that keeps harmful substances out of the brain. However, if astrocytes become overactive, they can sometimes disrupt this barrier, so their response needs to be carefully balanced. One of the major threats during a stroke is excitotoxicity, which happens when neurons are flooded with too much glutamate, a chemical that normally helps with communication between brain cells. Excess glutamate causes neurons to become overexcited and eventually die. Astrocytes help prevent this by absorbing the excess glutamate from the space outside neurons using special transporters. This process is energy dependent, meaning it requires fuel, and during severe strokes, this energy supply can be compromised. Still, under normal conditions, astrocytes play a crucial role in limiting excitotoxic damage. Microglia, the brain's resident immune cells, act like the city's police force. They respond rapidly to oxidative stress and injury by producing reactive oxygen species, which are molecules that can cause damage if not controlled. But microglia also help balance this by promoting antioxidant defenses and supporting tissue repair and new neuron growth. This dual role means they can sometimes contribute to secondary injury but are also essential for healing and rebuilding after a stroke. Neurons themselves are not passive during a stroke. They activate survival pathways, such as the pi 3 degrees Kelvin AKT pathway, which helps them resist injury by preventing programmed cell death, known as apoptosis. This pathway is triggered when calcium enters the neurons through NMDA receptors, and it acts like a protective shield, helping neurons withstand the stress caused by ischemia, which is the lack of blood flow. Oligodendrocytes are another vital piece of this puzzle. These cells produce the myelin sheath that insulates nerve fibers and allows signals to travel quickly and efficiently. During a stroke, oligodendrocytes are vulnerable to damage, but their preservation is critical because white matter damage can lead to lasting neurological problems. Protecting these cells helps maintain the brain's connectivity and function. In summary, the brain's defense system against stroke involves a complex network of interactions. Glial cells detect injury and modulate immune responses, balancing inflammation and repair. Astrocytes clear excess glutamate to prevent neuron death, while microglia and astrocytes regulate oxidative stress by managing reactive oxygen species. Neurons activate internal survival signals to resist damage, and oligodendrocytes work to preserve white matter integrity. Together, these cells form a protective shield that limits brain damage and supports healing after a stroke. Understanding these natural defenses is key to developing treatments that can enhance the brain's own ability to protect and recover. Always remember, if you have concerns about stroke risk or brain health, consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice based on your individual needs.